Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Prosperity and Health Revolution podcast. Today, I have a friend and a client by the name of Juli, and this is an update on her ongoing amazing testimony. You really need to listen to what this young gal is saying because it's amazing. And all you women out there that are suffering unnecessarily need to really pay attention to what she's about to share with you because it's absolutely epic. So please share.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. I'm nervous too. Oh my goodness, this is intimidating. So where do I start? I guess I'll just start at the beginning. I met you April, Mayish, and I started following your protocols. I really actually started the first week of June. And the first week, I know in like 6 days, I lost 5 pounds.
Wow.
It was really exciting. And there was so much going on. Like, I was just feeling good. I had so much energy where before I had like no energy at all. I was just, taking me a little nap in the afternoon, and then the phone would ring and you'd wake up groggy and a little grumpy for the rest of the day.
Right.
And couldn't wait till 9 o'clock to come around. And I'm only 51 years old. I have no business going to bed at 9 o'clock at night. Okay. Oh my gosh, changes other than the weight loss. So the first week, something that I noticed was that for many, many years, when I brushed my teeth, my gums would bleed. And I thought it was really normal. And after the first week, no, my gums weren't bleeding anymore. And I was like, what in the world? What is going on? Like, it was one of those things that you sort of put up with and think that it's normal, and it's not. My skin was softer. My energy was just through the roof. And I'll tell you that I had this issue with my ankle where my ankle would be swollen every single day because I had an injury years ago where I fell at the back of a truck because I was impatient. Imagine me being impatient, okay? But I broke my ankle and it didn't heal properly. So for like 12 years, every morning I get up, my feet hit the floor, and I'm like waddling to the bathroom and limping just a little bit. And about 2 hours, it would get bearable. I would still have that dull pain, but I just learned to live with it. Like, again, like it was normal. Okay, there would be swelling, and then the swelling would go down by about lunchtime. And then by the end of the day, I'd have to put my feet up on pillows because it'd be swelled up again. And there were times when, you go on vacation or you're walking a lot or you're, a festival, anything, and you have to sit down because your foot is so swollen. And then by the evening, you get home and you've got to ice it or put the hot pad on it or both, back and forth rotating, just to be able to walk on it the next day. And again, I put up with all of that like it was normal because doctors were like, oh, it didn't heal properly. There's nothing they could do. Oh, surgery. Well, no, I'm not doing surgery. I'll just live with it, which is kind of silly, but that's what I chose to do. And so again, I think it was day 6 or 7 into your protocol. And I woke up and I'm just like off in the bathroom. And, my husband was the first to notice. He said, no creaking this morning because he thinks it's funny to make fun of my creaking. It's like there's a board in the floor. Creak, creak. He knows I'm up because he hears me coming, So he didn't hear me coming and he thought it was funny. Hey, I didn't hear you coming this morning. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's not even swollen. So then over the next couple of days after my ankle wasn't swollen and I wasn't actually in any pain at all, I kept tripping over myself. Like, what is going on? Am I drunk here? Well, I noticed my shoes are all too big because my foot was always swollen a lot. And so all of my shoes were stretched. Literally on one foot, all of my shoes. I should have brought one over here with me because literally when I put my foot in the shoe and the shoe is like curved out at the sides and way too big. So I had to go get new shoes.
Finally, a valid excuse to go shoe shopping.
Yes, without getting in trouble, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So little changes like that. And over several weeks, just things were changing. One good thing was I was pooping every day. Thank you, Ron, so much. Because most of us ladies, we have those issues where we don't poop every day. And, our back hurts and it just drains us. And we are taking laxative. There's so many friends and women. Oh my gosh, I got this new stuff you got to try. And we'd be drinking it and doing stuff. Oh wow. And then you put up with the cramp and all that stuff. It's like, what are we doing? And I made a few little tweaks and just followed your advice. And literally I'm like pooping every single day, almost clockwork. Like I could put an alarm in my phone if I needed to. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
So I guess it was about 3 weeks into my whole journey. And I called you and I told you that I had the best period of my life. And I think you weren't surprised, but then you were a little surprised, like, but
I didn't know how severe it was, the PMS,
Yes, like, so I had my tubes tied 26 years ago. And after I had my tubes tied, my periods were like lower back pain, headache. The headache started, the dull headache right through here, and then the back of my neck started 2 days before my period. And I would have the lower back pain. I would get pain down in my thighs so bad that I couldn't hardly walk. There were days when I couldn't even go to work. Like I would have to call in sick because I would hurt so bad. So that 1 week a month, not only did I have a swollen ankle, but my thighs were hurting too.
Wow.
And then cramps, everyone thinks that cramps during your period is normal. But something that I've learned, and don't let me get off track here, but your uterus is a muscle. And if your muscles are hydrated properly, you don't get cramps. Isn't that astounding?
Yep.
So, yes. Okay. So I would have literally excessive bleeding for 5 to 7 days. And when I say excessive, like, I hate to even admit this, but I would have explosive periods. I would carry extra panties, extra pants in my car or my purse. I would carry extra supplies. I would try to track it on my Fitbit. It was always wrong a day or two. I mean, you could be in church, you could be in the grocery store, and all of a sudden you're just like your water broke, and you're running to the bathroom and you're having to change your clothes. And, any doctor and anything that you Google or go online or anything tells you, oh, well, your period is only 3 to 5 tablespoons. Well, listen, I was having like cups of bleeding. Okay. And I don't care what. I was having night sweats where I would wake up and just be soaking wet, bed covered with blood. I'd tell my husband, hey, go get in your chair, the other room, and I'd have to change everything in the middle of the night. Like literally my periods were the dreaded week. And when I say week, I'm talking 7 days of tired, misery, constipation, where you don't poop for a week. Okay.
Wow.
I'm normally a size between a 10 and a 12. Women know sizes. You probably don't know women's size very well, but I'm normally between a 10 and a 12. While I'm on my period, I have a section in my closet with different pants, different shirts. I even have period panties. Okay. Because I would gain 10 to 12 pounds. And of course, you're not pooping for a week. You're bloated, you're retaining water. So everything was too tight. So I literally had clothes that I wore only while I was on my period and clothes that I wore any other time. So it was literally for 26 years, pure misery, and I've had doctors years past tell me, oh, you're premenopausal. Well, when it started, I was 26 years old. Okay, so premenopausal at 26. Okay. And then I could go to the doctor today and they'd say, oh, you're premenopausal at 51 years old. really? Because this has been going on a long daggone time. And again, as women, we think that's normal. We think we should be getting the headache. We think we should be having the hot flashes and the night sweats. We think that we should be tired on our period. We think that the cramps and all this stuff is normal. It is not normal. I didn't know it wasn't normal. So again, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it was, into following your protocol, and I had this period that was freaking fabulous. And when I say that, like I didn't even know it was on my period. I had no headaches, no cramps, no lower back pain. I had nothing. I was bleeding a little bit, and it only lasted 3.5 days of just a little, not gallons of bleeding. It was just ridiculous. So literally nothing, no symptoms, nothing. And just 3 little days.
Fantastic.
And I pooped every day on my period. So I wore my regular clothes. I didn't even have to wear my period clothes.
That is awesome.
So there was one evening about the second night I was on my period, and my husband, I'm getting my bathing suit on. I'm trucking out to the backyard to get in the pool. I'm just having me a good time. I had mowed the grass that day. I was productive. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And he's like, aren't you supposed to be on your period this way? And I just looked at him really strangely because, yes, we've been together many years, too many years. No, not really. And I was like, you track my period? Seriously? And he said, well, I have to for my own personal safety. And I was like, babe, are you serious? He said, I don't think you understand how mean you are when you're on your period. And he said, wait a minute, is this all from doing that thing you're doing? And I'm like, yes. And he said, well, you need to keep on doing that, because I was just feeling so, like nobody even knew. You know, I feel like my children, they're all adults now, but they knew stay away from mom during this week because I was just horrible. Like every little thing pissed me off, every little thing, because I felt horrible.
Of course.
And I thought that it was normal, and it was not normal. And now, like, I'm excited. Like, I know that my body is cleaning itself out and doing what female things do, and I'm just chucking along, and I don't mind having a period at all. You know, it's
That's
great. Yes. And so then let's see other changes. Now we're I think we're 7 or 8 weeks in now, and things that have I think I'm 15 right at 15 pounds down. I think it was like an ounce off or something, but I'm trying not to weigh every day, but it's so exciting. I want to, and I know I don't need to, but once a week. But just the 15 pounds, my hair has grown 4 inches.
Wow.
Since I started. My hair never grows. Okay. My hair has been like naturally curly my entire life, but it was so completely over processed where I was coloring it and blow drying it and all of this stuff for so many years. It was dry, it was brittle, it was literally super thin and just falling out. Like I could brush my hair and then I could clean the brush out and it'd be like there's a whole wig right there for somebody. You could literally see through my hair straight through here. Like you could just see my scalp. My hair was so thin, and my hair has not been curly in years because of the over processing. Now you can look at this hair. Okay. My hair was so thin. Okay. I don't know where this
I can remember. Looks like you got your hair permed.
Yeah, and I did it. Like I have pictures of me in the 80s with the big hair. Like I would be in the cool kids with this big hair now if I was back in the 80s. My hair is just not even falling out. It's just, you know.
That's awesome.
Another really, really, really great benefit is that following your protocol has really improved the sex life. And let me see, I will explain that in a way that doesn't sound gross. But again, I will be 52 this year in just a few short months. And as us ladies get older, things get drier and they're not as juicy as they should be. And so lots of times we have to use artificial things to make things like they were back in our 20s and 30s.
Yep.
And being properly hydrated and following your protocols, my body is doing what it's supposed to do. So instead of being in the moment with my husband and stopping and reaching in the drawer to get the KY or whatever the flavor of the month is over there and trying new things because this one's irritating or this one is, giving me a rash, because we deal with all of that. All women are like, oh my God, never use this because this happened or it swelled me up. I mean, it's ridiculous what we
It
do.
is.
And now we can just be in the moment and do our business. And we don't have to use any of the artificial lube and all that stuff. And also something, since I've been following you and listening to your webinars and your Zooms and all your wonderful teachings, is that our vaginas absorb everything into the bloodstream, just like our mouth.
Yes.
And even worse. And so I was literally putting chemicals that are supposed to lubricate into my vagina that after a few moments of doing what they're supposed to be doing, literally dry out your vagina over a period of time.
Yep.
So I was doing it to myself, which makes no sense whatsoever. But again, society has made us think that things are normal when they're really not normal.
Yes. It's all just part of the business of selling products. And what people don't understand is that these problems you're talking about have become normal because they've been normalized, but they're completely unnatural and they shouldn't be happening. And I've heard this story from ladies, my clients for like 25 years since I learned how to help women with PMS and menopause and all this kind of stuff from my great mentors. And it's been, awesome to help people because, there's a lot of unnecessary suffering in this world because people don't know how to solve these type of problems, and it affects the whole family. It affects the husband, the children, because the woman is such a rock in the household. If she's not healthy, she's not happy, it's affecting everything.
Exactly. Happy wife, happy life.
Absolutely.
Yes. And my husband's going to send you your bonus check too for working all that good stuff out for him. He
That's good.
appreciates it a lot.
Well, I'm glad that you're becoming healthier. Do you feel, how much younger do you feel?
Oh my gosh. I can't even tell you, because I will tell you 4th of July. Okay, all 5 of my daughters and all 10. I just had a new grandbaby 2 weeks ago. So all 10 of my grandbabies were here. And everybody is outside and they're throwing frisbees and they're rolling around. And my daughter, who is she's 28, she's in the Army. She's all buff and tough and she was messing around and she used the towel and popped my butt. And I said, come here, I'm fixing to kick your ass. And she's like, oh yeah, what are you going to do, Mom? And we're like rolling around the front yard. And she's like, dang, Mom, you're pretty tough. Dang, Mom. And I just know that before I started feeling the way I'm feeling, there's no way that I would have got out in the yard at 51 years old, rolling around with one of my adult children who could clearly kick my butt and
That's
play.
cool.
But like I had, we were chicken fighting in the pool. I had the grandkids on my shoulders. I'm doing things that I haven't done in many years, and I feel amazing. And let me tell you one more thing. I really started this journey thinking that I was pretty healthy and doing extremely well. And I was interested in what you were doing to sort of fill in some gaps and stuff of my nutrition and kind of make it better. But what I found out was, as much as I thought that I was healthy, I wasn't. And so I think that just learning and learning, not only is my body changing and all of these good, weight loss things are happening, but my brain is changing. My stinking thinking is changing. And I'm realizing that I was doing it all wrong. And I think I appreciate that more than anything. And I don't know how many people, there's thousands and hundreds of people out there doing it wrong and thinking that they're healthy. And if they could just get on board, they would feel like $1 million, like just so much better.
Yeah, what our society has not been taught is, most people can comprehend that poor nutrition is going to affect their weight, maybe their energy. But what most people don't understand is how much poor nutrition and toxic beverages and water is affecting our mental health, our emotional health. Because as our bodies become toxic, this impacts the brain. It impedes, brain function, memory. It affects our mood. It's been known for a long time that our gut health has everything to do with our mental health. And this is not what we're being taught in our society. So people are unnecessarily suffering because they lack knowledge of how to take better care of themselves.
That's true. That is so true. So I thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Well,
Well, thank
thank
you
you for
so much
having
for
me on
sharing.
here. I'm so excited you asked me.
Well, it's going to inspire a lot of women, I believe, in what's possible for them too. Because at the end of the day, if a woman who's a mother and a wife is suffering, who is such an incredible part of the family unit, right? The mothers are the ones doing most of the decision making regarding what goes in the kitchen, what everybody's eating, right? So if we can impact the health of mothers and wives, we can impact the life of countless families.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
And that's what I'm looking at. It's like changing generations because we've been going the wrong direction for generations, and we need to turn it around and start moving in the right direction.
Exactly.
Canada, United States shouldn't be the two most unhealthy countries in the world with the most disease. We should be the healthiest nations on earth, and we're not.
I think that's true. I think that, I can go to any of my grandchildren's schools and you look around and these poor little kids are so fat they can hardly walk.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
terrible.
we're so overweight in this country, and we don't even know how it affects our entire life. And I know, I mean, I haven't lost that much weight, but I think I've lost more inches than pounds actually, because I can tell like in my face and how my clothes fit and everything.
Of
And I
course.
think that it's just I'm clearer. I feel smarter. I can work my phone now.
There you go. All people have to do is Google pictures of Americans on the beach in the 50s and 60s, and then Google pictures of people on the beach today. It looks like a whole new species of people
hmm
showed up on the scene from another planet. Like, this is what we've done to ourselves, and it's because of the food corporations, the beverage companies, water bottle companies, drug companies. It's not for our benefit, it's for profit.
hmm
you
That
know
everything's for profit.
Absolutely. So, well, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate you sharing the story. I know it's going to help a lot of people, become aware that there is a better way than what they've been told.
Well, thank
Thank
you
you so
so much
much.
for having me. It was so exciting. So
My
I'll see
pleasure.
you again soon. And like another 2 months, I'll probably be
We won't
like a,
recognize you.
yes. I'm gonna do a side by side with my 30-year-old, and people are gonna think we're sisters.
There you go.